1, NS Hosa, Axiom Acer, MVP, FX Open, LGIM, Azubu, Prime, StarTale.
Put his team on the scoreboard. They now have 1 point. They have first forced Younghwa out, one of the most successful GSTL players of all time. And can he hack it? That's the question, because, I mean, like you said before, Hack getting 1 point puts their team on the scoreboard, but ideally he needs to do more. He needs to at least even up the score and put his team into the advantage where they have the map up on their opponent.
If you are down 2 games already, you need to do more than only win against one player, because right now, yes, Life is good, but if Life has to defeat 3 players, it's gonna be tough, even for him.
And Life is good as LG's logo.
Yeah, that is actually true. They know.
They know. They're very certain of that.
Of course, we expect Life to be the 4th player here. So Hack, if he can achieve a victory against Younghwa, that would be very important for him. Younghwa has, he's definitely tensed up here.
Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible game that Hack played. It was so technical from the start. All the pieces fell into place. And yes, his micro was incredible, and his decision making was incredible through the mid-game and the late game. But in this particular situation, he has to start from scratch. He had no idea what map he was going to be playing on. He had no idea who he could face. He might have thought he might play against Protoss, but he still had time to prepare for that while he's trying to prepare for this specific Terran versus Zerg he just played.
Well, things are starting to get serious. LGIM is in the lead. If they win today, they advance in the ranks to take, well, they advance 1 place up. They're going to take 2nd place.
Yeah.
Let me just...
Or is it 3rd?
No, it's 2nd.
Yeah.
They're going to take 2nd place if they win it today. But for StarTale, if they lose, they're out. If they win, then FX Open, they would benefit from a StarTale loss. They are watching this game. They are looking at the screen. They are like, Younghwa, do it. For Protoss and for us. Belchevest is going to be the map.
Oh, this is intense. Hack needs this win. Younghwa, on the other hand, wants to seal the deal. Can he do it?
It's time to get serious here with our 4th game here today. We're jumping into the match right now at the GSTL. StarTale up against LGIM. Hack versus Younghwa with Carl and Wolf. He put StarTale onto the scoreboard. He took down Ragnarok. Terran player to the top left. Is that he means nuclear missile in Korean? Yes.
StarTale, Hack.
Starting things off with a big bang there.
And he had to. Going up against the Protoss player at the bottom right of Belchevestage. Starting for LGIM, we have the All-Killer.
LGIM Younghwa.
This man is dangerous. He also dyed his hair. Makes him a little bit less recognizable. He also got the LASIK surgery, so his eyes don't bother him anymore.
There's so many people on the team actually had that done. Oh, that is cool. Oh my god. Come on, camera guy, at least give him some credit and show his face.
That is sick.
That is epic, dude. That is really good.
I bet the LGIM coach actually asked him if he can buy it and put it on the wall. I would. I'd be like, listen, I'll give you $100.
You should.
We have a gas opening for Hack. How this map tends to go in this particular matchup is if the Protoss doesn't do an all-in, which I feel is unlikely. Usually it's a Mothership Core expand versus a Reaper Scout into a drop. We've seen this countless times on this map and on Akalon. And then the late game is usually determined by positioning, storms, and also Zealot Run-By. Zealot Run-By is a big deal on this map against the 3rd base of the Terran, which is really, really far away.
The one thing that I can say about the statistics here is they didn't play too many, well, both of them didn't play too many matches offline against their opponent's base in this particular scenario. The statistics that you will see on screen are, of course, the overall GSTL statistics, which also includes Wings of Liberty, but I feel we have to distinguish between the 2 games.
Yeah.
In Heart of the Swarm, Hack has only played 1 best of 3. so far against Protoss offline. That was against Deer, and he took it with the 2-1. So he has a 100% win ratio if you so want. So that's the statistics I was talking about. These don't really matter. I don't know why they're even up there. Yonghwa, on the other hand, he has currently, well, he has played 5 best of 3s of 5 matches, and he lost 3 of them. So he's at 40% currently against Terran in this matchup. Yeah, forget what you see on the screen, guys.
I mean, that stuff's just old news.
Exactly. That doesn't really matter. So, from the matches that Yonghwa actually won against Terran, he won also against Lucifron. Lucifron, one of the best foreigners, but still a foreigner. And usually we focus a little bit more on the Koreans, especially, of course, here in the GSTL. But most of the games that Yonghwa lost were against Keen. Actually, looking at it, Keen is the only Terran that took him down. So he faced 3 different Terran players in the heart of the Swarm, and the only one who defeated him is Keen so far.
Yeah. By the way, I really want to talk about this Terran build, because this has been pretty technical, what we see here.
Early +1.
Yeah, the early +1, and also he pulled out of gas after the Reaper was started to get the faster command center up, and he also delayed his reactor a little bit as a result. So this build is very, very much so designed to hit that time with a lot of Marines with +1, with the second Barracks coming up as well. He will potentially have combat shields with this. Sometimes you see stim first, it's just a preference. So Hack definitely has an idea here, which I really like. It goes to show that he had already in mind a plan for if he had to play a Protoss afterwards.
Yeah, and we have the Forge now also coming in for Yonghwa, but in upgrades he will fall behind here. With the early attack upgrades that we see for Terrans, they really get an early lead here and can hit pretty hard. But for now, Hack, I mean, I don't know, this match, if I was in the booth right now, the suspense would kill me.
Yeah.
Because he knows what's on the line here. And if they are losing today, then it's over. GSTL is over. They can watch the playoffs from at home from Team House. So let's
with
find
spite and anger.
Yeah, exactly. So Hack has to be really careful how he engages. Both of those players are amazing, especially Yonghwa, of course. He has caused a lot of all kills, especially in 2012. The scan does not reveal the robotics, and that is the most important part about the scout that we just saw. He doesn't know what exactly he's up against.
He just knows one thing. He saw the Forge, and that means it's not going to be a 6-gate or a 7-gateway all-in off of 2 base, so he knows he doesn't have to make bunkers as natural. That's it. That's the only thing he gained. He doesn't know there's a Bay coming out. He doesn't know if it's going to be a Templar build who's not on this map, and he's going for the pressure still. You know, you can't really not do it after you commit this much to the early +1. You have to still attack.
Definitely, you have to pull that. This is also why the Protoss player usually tries to get his own Colossi very early.
Can he?
Because he wants to make sure that he has something against the Marines, and the Mothership Core is gone!
That's what I was going to say, like, can he kill the Mothership Core before it activates? If he does that, he might actually win the game.
Oh yeah, that would have definitely given him a huge lead, but the Photon Overcharge is there. He could kill the Mothership Core, and that's of course also a good win. That's something that is really just good to pull off, costs a little bit of gas, production time on the Nexus, and the Stalkers can't really chase down the Marines once they got up onto the high ground, because they would walk into a trap here.
Yeah, and also all the energy time is lost here.
And Hack... Yeah, sorry.
I was just saying, I mean, while he's rebuilding it, it doesn't gain energy, and so, you know, just going to be a little bit less energy than he would have had.
And now he's moving out again with the units that he has, because he knows that there is not going to be a second Photon Overcharge. The Mothership Core is there again, but it should not have enough energy once the Terran army or the bio units are at the bottom right. Yeah. So this gives Hack a pretty sweet opportunity to damage, especially since his own stim is going to kick in time.
Exactly. This is the scarier part. When you do this push, the +1 doesn't help you out too much, except for maybe killing the Mothership Core and maybe a sentry.
Look at the timing, Stim!
Oh, this is so beautiful here. Gets the Mothership Core, 84 energy, and those sentries, not too useful. Guardian Shield going up pretty desperately.
There go the sentries, both are gone, and he's moving in. The Colossus is not there just yet. It's going to take another second. He takes down so many units.
So many probes.
The Stalkers.
And he could get the Colossus if the Micro's not good here. Nah, he can't get it, but he gets the Stalker.
Ah, that was important. Oh my god, was that cool.
Look at the supply.
17 workers killed. I didn't even realize he killed this many.
17. He basically eliminated saturation at that expansion.
Wow.
Medivacs are ready for another wave of attacks.
And this is the power of killing that Mothership Core early on. The second Photon Overcharge is not there. Now we have all the gateways, but Hack, he is in a stellar position. He has a 20 supply lead. He has Medivacs on the map. He's going into a third base. He's even building the first Vikings to count out those Colossi.
If you have the Mothership Core with another Photon Overcharge, the probes can just run away. He can't kill the Nexus. The Colossus comes out. He runs the sentries away too, or even force fields with all of his energy there. But with not enough energy there, like you said, it's not going to happen. Blink is almost done, but it's just not all too useful here. In fact, right now, he only has 5 Stalkers. The 6th one warping in as I speak. And he's going to have to split them between the bases to make sure he can deal with medevacs.
Oh, talking about medevacs, the probe to the right side was trying to scout for a few, but the medevac escaped vision and now is at the right side of the map at the border. So if he can get into the main base, that would be huge. Pylon to the top right, on the other hand, also not spotted. And on this map in particular, we've seen a lot of run bites towards the 3rd.
Yeah.
They took down Björn, and Hack really built a bunker there, really prepared for it. He also has a pretty late armory, considering that he's already on 1-1. So the timing here for the 2-2 upgrades is a bit late.
He has the right idea with his bunkers at the natural. What he expects is, because first lost his entire economy, and essentially Hack lost his entire army. That was the trade there. So he expected an all-in fall with 2 Colossi in range, made a bunch of bunkers, is desperately trying to get Vikings out, but he also has that 3rd base going up, which is a little bit of a risk, and he knows that taking this 3rd base like this, he might have to cancel it, he might have to lift it, but as it is, it's there, it's not pressured at all. That pylon not coming to play here, a big problem.
As I said earlier, Hack in my mind is always associated with a strong Terran versus Protoss. That was his key matchup also in Wings of Liberty and in Heart of the Swarm. It's pretty much the same, at least when we can judge from this one game that we currently see on screen here. The scan revealing the entire army of Yonghwa. He's chasing the probe away at the 3rd. He knows there is no 3rd right now, so the saturation time at the top right is giving him a huge advantage in the game already.
Yeah, that extra pylon he made to the top right is going to give him a little bit more vision, but I would have expected him to just go ahead and use that pylon that's already there to at least send 1 Zealot to check, because as it is right now, he doesn't even know.
But we have the bunker, so there is a bunker at the 3rd base, and I'm very happy that Hack does this. This is just Terran players learning from the mistakes of the past, making sure that they have the defense set up there, and the Marines are also in position to just wait for those run-bys. +2 armor has been started for Yonghwa. He's also going into the Templar Archive and of course into Charge, but Hack is just doing everything right. He's macroing it up, he's getting his upgrades out there. I'm a little bit curious why we not see a 2nd engineering bay and double upgrades now that he's on 3 bases, but besides that, he's getting a very fearsome army out on the map.
Yeah, very true.
It's time to move into the main base, bottom right. The drop is on the way.
Zealot here is, if he doesn't target, not going to do too much. He only gets 1, but
the drop is in the main base, guys.
Here it comes. Pylon going down already, and there's also a triple drop going to the 3rd. So he splits his units. He doesn't see, but he assumes, and that's a great assumption for him. Needs to run to the 3rd, though. He only goes to the natural, and oh, this base almost certainly going to be cancelled.
Yeah, that's the cancel, and this is of course bad for Yonghwa. He's losing even more time, and this is the only thing that Hack tried to achieve here.
Look at his minerals banking up here. I mean, part of that 400 of those or 300 of those are in the cancel.
So right now, what is the plan for Yonghwa? The plan for Yonghwa is to hit amazing storms. That is basically what he's going to try to do. We do not have we don't have a Ghost Academy just yet, so he's preparing a lot with the Vikings, but we don't see a Ghost Academy for EMPs and snipes against the High Templars. That is something that he has to identify. And I still would expect him to actually get that 2nd engineering bay. I'm a little bit surprised we don't see that, but he's moving out now, and with a 70 supply advantage,
he's pulling the SCVs. He's pulling the SCVs cover.
Okay. Oh, but Storm is done, Wolf.
Storm is done, and you know what? There is a high chance that Yonghwa actually holds us with good storms, and the Colossi as well.
If he gets good storms, he could take it.
It's all about positioning here. That's the most important part by far.
I don't think the Colossi will play a huge role. There are just too many Vikings on the map. Here comes the scan again. He also, I think, sees the High Templar. Got a glimpse, maybe. But it's all about the Vikings now. And, of course, dodging those storms. That's the important part.
Where's
the drop in the main base. There's the first storm. He's dodging it. Those SCVs are just taking a few shots. The 2nd and the 3rd storm not really doing the damage they wanted to do. One was good. The other ones were so-so. But here we go.
He needs more storms. And his Templar are already dying. He didn't even make them into Archons. And now those Vikings are doing damage. But can he hold? He has the upgrade lead. This is so close. The SCVs, a lot of them making the supply here. The Immortal doing so much extra damage. It blinks the Stalkers back. The reinforcements, though.
They are moving in the main base. We still have a couple of Marines left. And now take the probes down. The rest of the army is moving into the natural.
Hack
so much trouble. The warp in is there. Hack
GG!
Oh, God.
Oh, what a crazy, crazy push there he decided to go for. He didn't have to do it, but he went for it. And you know what?
Hack was the right choice.
Hack was the right choice.
A choice where everyone looked at the screen and was like, really? Hack instead of Bomber? Wow. And now look at the two Terrans here talking about the game. The coach looks happy. Hack has done it again. Ragnarok and Yonghwa. FXO and LGIM, they are not happy about this.
No, definitely not. That last fight, without the reinforcements, looked a lot closer than it could have been, but, you know, if he had his Templars split out, because they're all in one place together, if they were split where he could have gotten storms from different angles, I think he could have held there.
It was just like the storms. Usually when you go for the SCV pull, you try to hit before storm is ready, but he could not do it. And then, look at MC here.
He was like, oh, I should have split those Templari. We should have had one at the top of the ramp, one at the natural, some at the third.
He's like, dude, do I really need to tell you everything? No, but really, you usually try to hit before Storm is done. And now with Storm already there, it was very difficult for Hack in the end to even pull that off, but he did. And now, Series is tied.
Series is tied, indeed, and I don't... If you're LGIM now, this is kind of weird. You're probably not expecting that Hack is doing so well. You probably didn't really think about him, or even really any Terran besides Bomber.
I would send Lucy out.
I could see it. And by that you mean Lucero, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like, because Lucy's on Prime, I don't know.
Well, we don't know. We've never actually seen him, and isn't it like...
We don't know if he's real. Like, it could just be a figment of our imagination. You know, it's always, is he Lucy or is he Rusey?
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I don't think it's time for another Protoss, not after that. First, I could see him, but I think it's either going to be First or Lucera, the next two players, but which order are they going to put them in?
They have a sick Protoss lineup, so...
Squirtle is also there.
There's no shortage on Protoss. You have First, you have Squirtle, you have MC sitting on that bench. So many that you can use, but I feel that we're going to see one more Protoss and Lucera today. I don't really think they're going to send out a Terran player, even though they could.
My guess is First and Lucera, the next two players. I just don't know the order. And I think, given the loss there, Lucera coming out first makes sense. But there's so many players, it's hard to say.
I just want to know who's going to be next, guys. The picks from now on are going to be crucial.
Yeah.
Live, that's the player that everyone expects to be the fourth player of StarTale. But who are going to be the two players for LGIM?
You could send out, you know, the Protoss or the Terran versus Zerg didn't work out for you. The Terran versus Protoss didn't work out. There's only one Terran it could be. It's MVP, but I just don't see him being played today. He's a top player. He did do so well in WCS Europe, but in Korea, I think there are other players. And I don't know if he's here, actually.
I do not think so.
Okay. I don't know. Oh, no, actually, I saw him. I said hi to him. I said hi to him earlier, and then I forgot that he's here. He is here.
Okay, I didn't see him. I must have passed him earlier. Yeah, they could send him out.
I could see it.
I don't know. Maybe Oda. I do not know, actually. Oh, yeah, there he is, sitting to the top left.
What, first? First? Coming out first, no pun intended, before Lucera.
Well, actually comes out second after Youngwa.
Indeed, but third after Ragnarok and Youngwa.
Oh, look at you. A lot of people were actually asking why First did not come out as the first Protoss player and is now second. So let's see if he can pull off what Youngwa couldn't.
His map choice is DMZ, a map that's fairly similar to Belshir.
That's of course also taking a little bit of a risk from the coach here.
It definitely, in my mind now, seals the deal though that Lucera will be the last player. Well, this is a really important moment now, because if they lose this, they lose their momentum, and they're down to the last player. They lose that extra pick. Eye drops on camera here. Got to make sure his eyes are ready.
Yeah, certainly has to. It was Youngwa who had that problem with his eyes in 2012, right?
That's correct. Yeah. He actually said that a lot in interviews, and he was winning games even with his eye problems. He was like, I didn't expect to win because I had eye problems, but I still killed the entire team.
Yeah.
He's like, just you wait till I get my surgery.
The same matchup once again. DMZ is the map. StarTale and LGIM. I love those two teams, and they are the final match in the regular season. Hira here for LGIM. He's already on edge. He's just walking around in the studio. He's like, oh my god. Who's gonna take it? Another Terran versus Protoss. Hack. 2 kills already. Up against First.
Hack on a roll. And, you know, if you asked me who wins between First and Hack, I would say I'd almost bet half the money I own on First. But right now, with the momentum he has, I feel completely different. I can't call this one.
Yeah, first was a good statistic in this matchup as well. Hack, of course, now being at 100%, but he only played, two best of threes if you want so, or two matches, so therefore, yeah. In map scores, Hack is currently 3-1. First in this matchup, offline and out of the Swan is 15-9 in map scores. Means 63% win ratio. You always have to distinguish a little bit in StarCraft if you're talking about matches. That could mean best of 1, best of 3, best of 5, or if you're talking about the win ratio in maps that a player wins. So there's a little bit of a distinction there that you can make, where you can argue what's the more important statistic. Yeah. But going now into this match, we note that both players are pretty good going up against Terran or against Protoss. And let's see what's going to happen here at this game between First and Hack at the GSTL.